Splinter Cell Firewall is set for a BBC radio production, which is actually really cool, like really quite exciting. It has Adonis Anthony apparently playing Sam Fisher. I'm a little bit sore that it's not Michael Ironside reprising the role of Sam Fisher, but I get it. I understand it. It's like an adaptation. It's just somebody else picking up the mantle to do the radio play. That's totally fine. And Will Poulter, aka the kid from Not Meet the Parents, was it? The Coopers or something like that it was called ages ago. But he's also going to be Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and he is fucking jacked for that. He looks totally different. So he's obviously going to be appearing in this. 8-part miniseries dramatized by Sebastian, I'm going to butcher his name, I do apologize, Bakiewicz, I think that's maybe how you pronounce it, and Paul Cornell. Follows the veteran 4th Echelon agent Sam Fisher on a new mission recruiting and training the next generation of Splinter Cell operatives for the National Security Agency's Covert Action Division. I'm really quite excited about this because radio plays are awesome. They're very, very different type of media, a way to consume narrative and our universes that we love in video game context. Hand it over to Sarah. What do you think about this one?
I mean, this is really exciting, right? I think I've said it before. I'm so in for any sort of adjacent stuff that kind of builds on the world that we know and love. So obviously I'm going to listen to this, and I've been listening to the Callisto Protocol one, and it's been exceptional. And if the BBC are behind this, it's going to be good. It's going to be like high quality. It's going to be great. I think the thing that was good about Callisto Protocol is that it felt like it was adjacent to what's going to happen in the game, whereas I think having the main protagonist in this one, hopefully it doesn't take away too much from the game, although I guess it depends on who they're going to cast, right? Because I know there's been a bit of discussion. Everybody wants the OG Ironside back, but he wasn't in one of the later games or something, right?
Yeah, Splinter Cell Blacklist, and
That's right, yeah.
I think that was mostly due to they were changing up their the production workflow, and it was more full body capture with the voice acting.
Oh right.
So it was very physical. Michael Ironside is an older gentleman, and also I think he had some health issues as well at the time that he was working through. So it just was impossible to get him to do Splinter Cell Blacklist, unfortunately, and that's always one thing that sticks with me when I want to jump in and play Splinter Cell Blacklist, because by all purposes, it is a fantastic game. It's an excellent game, but it's not Michael Ironside, and that is always the thing that sticks with me to say, I don't want to play it then because it's not Michael Ironside is doing the voice. But I don't know if there was a reason for not being able to get him for this, or maybe it's such a small role and it's going to be focusing on the like passing the baton for operatives. Maybe it's not quite a Sam Fisher centric adaptation. I don't know.
Yeah, especially because they've mentioned the new recruits kind of side of things. So yeah, that would be interesting, and a nice way of going. And and this world exists, but let's build on that. It's not just all about Sam. It's about this guy and this guy and this guy, or this girl, this girl, this girl. Yeah, so excited. It's gonna be great. It literally. Give me more content to absorb. Not that I have the time, but I will do it anyway. I'll find the time.
It's an excellent type of content as well, because it's passive, or it can be passive as well. Like you said on Helix Station, Callisto Protocol 1, that you were listening to it on your commute, and that's the great thing about any kind of audio centric format is you can be doing other things. My wife loves her audiobooks, and she's a cake baker, so she doesn't have hands free. She can't sit down for any length of time to watch something. So as she's kneading the dough and sculpting these sugar crafted masterpieces, shout out to Jessie's Magic Oven for your cake confectionery needs, then she can just be having the audio book or whatever playing as she's doing these cake creations. So it's such a great format to just have on and then do other things as well, and get fully absorbed into it. Miss your train stop potentially as well, because you're so engrossed. It's like, exactly. No, I don't want this to stop. I want to get to the next bit. So it's such a cool format.
That is one of the things. The only thing that I struggle with is so if the episode's length is only like 20-25 minutes, which was perfect for Callisto Protocol. It's fine. I because I don't like stopping in the middle, because also I don't want to break the narrative, and the episodes are made that way intentionally. So I'm like, I want to listen to this in its full chunk. I almost missed a stop the other day while I was listening to but they make such good content. What am I gonna do? Oh no.
I know, it's that awkward of, okay, my journey today is maybe 35 minutes. What do? I can finish a whole episode, but I can't start another episode because I won't finish it in time. Oh, the travesty, the trauma, the problem that I have. What to do here?
This is my terrible first world problem that I have.
Exactly. That's all we have to complain about. I think we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Jamie, what do you think about this project?
I'm very excited. Like Sarah said, I like anything that brings, an extended element to games universes that we're already excited by, because you get more of the story. I mean, I've had it with games and I've had it with films where you and books and any of that, where you end that and it's like, oh, that's all gone, and you're waiting for a sequel to the game maybe in a few years' time, but you know what else happened, and there's always that what if as well. It's like, well, what if that character does that afterwards, or what happened to that guy who turned up in that bit, and things like that. So it's nice when you get those stories told and things like that. And I love audio. I love audio. Like I'm not just plugging it because this is a video podcast, so we don't have to fucking impress you people, but but I've always loved podcasts. I listen to a lot of podcasts, and some of them are like fictional radio play type stuff, like the Thrilling Adventure Hour. Beyond Belief is a particular favorite of mine. Others are just people talking about things, various subjects, stuff like that. But anything you can take in. What I think is really exciting is the fact that it's BBC, and it's more. I like anything that puts gaming in the mainstream a little bit, that puts it in and casts a light upon it that is not necessarily just we basement dwelling folk, as we're still perceived by some. Like gaming still seems like the biggest growing entertainment industry in the world, and yet still seems to be considered a niche hobby.
Yeah,
and so it's always nice to get a little bit of light shone on it, so that and also it helps with a little bit. Again, gaming still gets demonized by some as as not being the healthiest hobby, or it's just something that we do, and there's some really great stories and we enjoy it. And hey, now the BBC are going to be telling some of those stories, and you never know. You might have someone sat there thinking, well, I quite like the Archers, so I'll give this a shot. And then next thing you got a new fan. And Splinter Cell is an awesome franchise. I love it.
Yeah.
So
there's a really great statement here from Alison Hindle, who's the commissioning editor for Radio 4 Drama. It says, Alison says, I am really thrilled to be bringing to Radio 4 and BBC Sounds this innovative and exciting series, and feel sure it will have listeners hooked from the start. We have a great team working together to bring this world to life for audio listeners. Familiar as it is in another form to its millions of game fans, we hope they will enjoy hearing situations and characters that they love, given added layers and dimensions through this new interpretation of the story, and the binaural element is an added bonus, as the series has been recorded in 3D binaural audio.
That's so cool.
Meaning listening on headphones will give a more immersive experience. So again, it's the kind of thing that audio can only deliver, which is super exciting.
Do you know what's so cool about that? So I've seen the device that they use to record binaural sound, and it literally looks like a little head with little speakers on the side of it. So it's as if you have a sort of head facing a certain way. So if the actor is stood, just to the side here, that's where you will hear it when you're listening to it. It's absolutely mad. So cool.
I saw that thing as well, and it was a making of documentary of Hellblade, Senua's Sacrifice from Ninja Theory. And I remember they were one of the first kind of developers to really showcase it. And if Jamie, this is a game that's right up your street. It's Norse mythology, so it's good. a bit walking simulatory, a bit actiony, very puzzle heavy, glyphs and things like that. And the mental psychosis is the strong kind of undertone message all about it, and bringing awareness to that. Fabulous game, but it's essential to play with headphones, because the literal voices in your head are moving around the space in your mind, in your ears, And it is incredible. And
Mm-hmm.
if they've really gone to town with that level of production for this drama series, it could be a banger. It could be really good.
Yeah, that is quite exciting. I didn't know that about Hellblade. It's been on my list anyway. Of something I'd like to try at some point, but I didn't know that. And that anything that uses, I like gimmicks when they're actually used well. You know, like I'm not talking about say the Kinect, which was an abomination of a device, but.
Don't you talk shit about the Kinect, my friend. The Kinect has some excellent features to it. I love my Kinect.
Not the Xbox One Kinect, the 360 Kinect. Did you ever play Blackwater? Jesus,
that's allowed.
But
that's
anyway,
allowed. That's allowed.
But so when it's used right, like you end up with some really cool things, and you know, like stuff like that, like binaural sound, like that has so much potential to add, rather than just be something that people can do and like, oh yeah, we recorded it in that, listen to it. So I've always said that with like 3D cinema's one for me. It's like there are some films that it makes sense. There are other films it's like, why did you put this in 3D? And the way you did it, it doesn't need it, but it can add a massive element to things when used right and for the right content. And for this, because I'm thinking of the way Splinter Cell works as well, you know, you're sneaking about, you're listening, there's guards walking past. If they've got moments of the story and you're hearing the sounds around them, and it's going to make you feel like you're there, you know, crouched in the corner with your ever so visible night vision goggles that every guard should spot immediately. Especially if you put them on with a chain pull and they go, but still, we suspend disbelief because we love it.
Absolutely. I think you're right, Jamie, because that positional audio will let you know like the actual direction of the guards that Sam Fisher, or if it's one of these other recruits characters, are heading in, and then you get a real sense of the space that the narrative is being told in, which is again, it's just hugely exciting. Excuse me while I take a sip of my hot water and honey, because I've got a very sore throat today.
Hold the line, please, caller.
That's where you have to do your... you could be our elevator music, Sarah. Come on, sing! Sing, monkey, sing!
I knew it was going to be the girl from Iwo Jima. I knew
it. Amazing.
That's my go-to elevator music.
Yeah, we'll be right back after this short musical interlude. Anyway.